Welcome back, everybody. Silas back out here. And where did all the mud go? When I was out here last week, this was just solid mud out here. This is where I dropped that tree on top of that Corvette. I still have a mess out here to pick up, but I don't have time for that today. Just got a Ford truck in, it looks like. He was supposed to bring that last week, and he wasn't able to make it, but he's supposed to bring me another truck later this week now, and we'll settle up. Anyway, the reason why I'm out here is because somehow on Friday, I lost my checkbook, and I got to thinking, I wrote a check at the very end of the day, so I might have left it in the loader. I'm planning on doing some work out here this week. I've got all these batteries that I had a guy stack for me a year ago, or almost a year ago, and the pallets are gonna rot if I don't get those things gone. And so I need to get them all gathered up, get them wrapped, get them banded, all that good stuff. I've got 3 pallets there, I've got some down there, I got some out back. I want to get a load of batteries out of this yard. It was a hot one this weekend, as you can see. I mean, this here, you couldn't even walk through here. You had to walk all the way up and around because this is such deep water mud hole right here. And obviously there's still a little bit of mud here, and that's why we're not going to work out here today, is we're going to finish letting this dry up. Supposed to get some more rain this coming weekend, so about the time it dries out, it'll be muddy again. Once I clear some of these cars out, I'm going to come in here and put some more rock in some of these holes and kind of level them back out again. I leveled a lot of it out already once, but this was super soft, and so some of the spots squished back down. So now that I've got it packed really good, as soon as I get a chance, I can fill them in good. Do I have a checkbook in this loader? Here's what's left of the Corvette. I don't know what we're gonna do with the rest of it. I want to pack some iron in it because this is all fiberglass. I can't throw fiberglass in the dumpster without something in it, you know? Pack a little bit of iron in there, should be golden. Where, oh where can my checkbook be? If it's not in here, then I don't know where it's at. It is not in here. I checked my pants pocket. I didn't leave it in my pants. It wasn't sitting on the dresser with my wallet and my keys and everything else that I took out of my pockets on Friday, so I guess I have no clue where it's at. Well, I don't know what we're going to do there, but I had a guy come pick up a 68 Chevy truck over the weekend. I wasn't here. I had it sitting out, so he got it picked up, and he said he left me something hanging on my door, so we're about to find out what's in here. We've got... Oh, he got coolers, man, or not cooler, what do they call that? Koozies? Flint Hills Square Bodies. You can check him out on Instagram. He buys a lot of Square Body stuff from me. Oh, some stickers in there too. Awesome. What else we got in here? Oh, we got some zucchinis. Awesome. Awesome. Those are going to be really good. I'm going to put those in a salad later, actually. Well, I was getting ready to run out to the yard, but I checked my mail, and I've got a pink slip here, so I've got to run to the post office. If they ship you a package that has to be signed for and you're not there, they just leave one of these in your mailbox, then you got to go pick it up down there. All right, this is what I got in my package. This came from all the way down in Australia. It came from Mark, a subscriber. He sent me a license plate as well, but he asked that I not show that on camera, so I'm not going to show that. But he sent me a bunch of magnets, which is really cool because I've never mentioned this before, but we actually collect magnets to put on our fridge. Now, normally, we only collect magnets of places that we've been to, and so we buy a magnet or two as a souvenir, as a memory, whatever you want to call it. But I don't know that I'll be going to Australia anytime soon. I'd love to go, but I don't know that I'll be going anytime soon. So this is pretty cool that we'll be able to put these on our fridge. So thank you to Mark for that. And since we're showing stuff that people sent me, I guess I'll show you guys this as well. This came from Richard in Maine. I think I've mentioned it before that I kind of like wildlife plates. And so I didn't have one of these Maine plates with the chickadee on it like this. And so he said, well, if you'd like it, I'll send it to you. He wrote me a really nice letter as well. So thank you to Richard for that. So pretty cool stuff. There we go. I really wanted to show you guys this license plate, and I just couldn't show the numbers and letters that are on here. And so I figured, well, hey, I'll just cover them up. That way I can show you this part of the tag. This is really cool. I like this. I've never seen anything quite like that. It's actually a different texture even. It's like a rubber decal. This is going to make a great addition to my collection of license plates. So thank you once again. All right, now I better quit looking at mail and I better get to work. I got a lot of work to do today. It's already getting hot. Well, bummer. This one's empty. But this one's full, so that's good. When I started cutting the second one off, it kind of sounded hollow, and I probably should have checked it before I cut the other end, but oh well, life goes on. All right, we're gonna have a brief intermission and tearing stuff apart. I have a guy on the way now to pick up this 454. Glad to see it go into a new home. Get this all hooked up. Let's see here, I can't remember exactly where I hooked it the last time. I think, no, right there. Okay, I see it. I knew somebody would buy this 454 eventually. It turns, but it turns really, really stiff. But, you know, it's getting harder and harder to find these things. Let's see if this car's got a battery. Nope, battery's gone. I can see it gone already. Okay. And then this one here should have a battery right there. Yeah. Okay, we'll get that out real quick. Anything else good in here while I'm in here? Any money? I've only found a few pennies lately. I haven't found much. Oh, there's a bunch of pennies in this one. I'll grab all that here in a minute. Is there anything good though, or is it all just a few trinket pennies? Nope, there's a few more pennies and a nickel. There's an oldie. 1980. I think 1982 and older, or 83 and older, I can't remember which, or copper. And then the ones that are newer than that are all zinc. And I guess this is the last year they're going to be making them. Technically speaking, at the price of copper right now, the older ones, like 1980 whatever and older, are worth about 2 or 3 cents a piece. Nothing in there. But you can't technically scrap them, you're not supposed to do that, so anything good in here, or just a bunch of paperwork? Yeah, just a bunch of paperwork. Nothing good. What is that? Oh, vape cartridge. I don't have my glasses on. It took me a second to read it. Okay, I'm gonna grab my tools, pop a couple batteries out. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but evidently there is a major, major fire going on somewhere right now. Either a fire or a serious wreck, but there's probably, it sounds like about 3 or 4 fire trucks. I'm trying to think, I don't hear any ambulances, so it must be a fire somewhere. I wouldn't doubt it. As hot and dry and windy as it was all weekend, and it's hot and windy again today. I ended up finding almost $3, and this one here is in 1959, which is the first year of the Lincoln Memorial. Before this, they were still wheat pennies. Yeah, I got my whole pocket. These aren't really worth anything here. I mean, they're worth the 3 cents I was talking about earlier. Throw them in there, but that whole pocket's clear full of change. Well, these battery cables are super loose. I didn't even need my tools for this one. It just came right out. Oh, is that 4 of 25? That's a brand spanking new battery. I mean, not brand new. It's a few months old, but still. Man. I almost feel guilty throwing that one in the scrap. But man, it's so hard to sell batteries. I never understand it because people come out here and they assume I'm going to sell it to them for, you know, 10 bucks or something like that. I'll put the tester on it later. If it's still fully charged, I'll go ahead and try to sell it. Every now and then you can get, you know, like 30 bucks out of one. All right, that one there, I just got to pull the catalytic converters off of. This car here, I'm definitely going to have to get some tools for them, or at least I'm pretty sure anyway. Yeah, it's all corroded in there pretty good, so a pair of pliers I think will get her. There we go. Well, a little bit more. There it is. And there's number 2. It sounds like my guy's here on that motor, so perfect timing. All right, I had a really good idea. I got that yellow Corvette body I showed you earlier that needs some iron in it so they don't get mad at me for too much fiberglass, and this truck happens to be full of iron, so that's going to work out perfect. I'm going to go set this in there beside that Corvette, and Leps out here, he's going to pack it full. This guy here, he saw my video on, or a picture or something. Yeah, it was a picture on Facebook, that's right, on one of the pages I post on, and he called my bluff. I said, you want to buy it? Somebody brings me $1,000 cash, it's yours. And so he said, send me some pictures of it. And I thought, here we go, because everybody always wants pictures. And then I send them pictures, and they say, oh, that doesn't look as good as it did in your first picture. And I'm like, yeah, I know. But this guy saw the pictures, and he said, yep, that'll work. I'll send you the money. So he's sending me a deposit, and he's supposed to come get it here in a couple months. This Ford truck here, I doubt anybody's going to want to buy the whole thing. The roof of the cab is kind of beat up a little bit. There's no rust in it, but nobody really cares about these trucks anyway. They're kind of hard to sell. I think I've sold a couple of these over the years, but they're few and far between on the buyers. I mainly bought it just for parts because it's got a lot of good parts on it. It's one of those weird trucks that nobody ever buys whole ones, but selling parts is really easy. I still have all the remnants of this tree sitting here in the way, but I think I can drive through here. Yeah, I'm just gonna put this truck over here out of the way for now. I'm probably gonna spend at least 1, maybe 2 days out here this week. I was thinking about it, and I think Thursday and Friday I'm just gonna come out here and work all day. It's supposed to cool down a lot. Today, tomorrow, and the next day is supposed to be heat advisory. Heat index is up to 110. So probably not gonna do a whole lot of work in the late afternoons, but Thursday and Friday is supposed to cool down quite a bit. It's supposed to rain too, but that's okay. I'm just kind of rearranging stuff right now, getting stuff moved back away. We'll go set this back here. If you watched my previous video, or one of my last 2 videos, I don't remember which one it was in, I bought a new torch. So I'm gonna probably get that torch going later this week as well. That way some of these vehicles, like that 70 or 71 right there in front of me, I can cut it up. And then like this 56 or 7, I forget what year this one is, I wanna pull the sheet metal off of it, and then the rest of that'll be junk. Well, I just got a phone call. Guy has a couple cars he wants to sell, and he wants to sell them today. He's got the titles in his hand. So if I don't go buy them, he's gonna sell them to somebody else. That's the way it usually works. So I can't get a hold of my dad. I'm not sure where he's at or what he's doing. So my trailer's empty, it's already hooked up. I'm just gonna run and grab him with the trailer. I don't do that very often because it's so much easier with the rollback, a little bit easier to get into tight places and whatnot, but I'm gonna cross my fingers and hope it's not a big deal to get to these. Grab them up, bring them out here, and I guess I'll add them to the crusher pile. This is what we got. Ford Focus. It's got a cool Boss radio in it. Lep wants that. I said no problem, grab her out of there. So he's gonna grab that in a little bit. This in here is just steel wheels, but it should have a pretty good catalytic converter on it. Aluminum engine and transmission. Yank all that out of it. We'll process it later. On a battery, it's got a battery. And then over here, it's got a Ford Taurus. This one here has been leaking water, and it's all wet and gross inside. But it should have 3 converters on it, plus the motor and transmission. I don't know if that guy was honking at me or if he was honking at the guy on the bike, but I waved at him anyway. If you don't know me, he does now. But yeah, we'll grab this off of here. This in here, to get that back converter off the engine, you either have to do some funky mangling with the loader, or you just drop the whole engine out. So we'll probably just drop the whole cradle out, pull it apart later. I'm trying to think. I think that's the first 2 junk cars from around town that I've ever hauled with my trailer. I've always just used the rollback, but like I say, that was a spur of the moment deal. He wasn't that far from here. They were fairly easy to get to. I had to kind of back around a telephone pole and some trash cans and whatnot in a tight alley to get in there, but I'm pretty good at backing that trailer, so it wasn't a big deal. It probably took us about 30, 35 minutes total to get both cars, so not a big deal at all. When opportunity knocks, you best answer the door. And good morning. I am back out here at the junkyard. Did I grab my keys? Let me see here. I think I did. One of these keys. I got too many keys in my pocket. There we go. I got to get this gate open here. They are coming to get that box full of aluminum wheels. It is finally full. We had another group of guys do this for us. They were working on remodeling our office for us, and they said they had some extra time and said they would fill it up, so they did. Now here is a blast from the past. When I was a little kid, this was my clubhouse, and I would always save license plates and radio antennas and emblems. I'm sure there's probably some pretty old stuff in here off of vehicles that we crushed. I doubt any or much of it is much good anymore. One of these days we'll make a video going through this and getting it all cleaned out. It looks like somebody broke the side window out of it. Somebody was probably throwing hubcaps around or something like that out here. And then this area up here was all my stuff too, and I had this here kind of roping it off so nobody would go in here and mess with it. And I was always tinkering with stuff in here, and I always had building stuff, like whatever that is there. I was making something out of that, and I had a lot of ideas, and like this little area right here was my little clubhouse. A lot of memories right here in this thing. Had a lot of fun right here when I was a little kid out here at the junkyard. What do we got there? Kaiser Supersonic Head. That's a neat one. Yeah, like I say, we'll worry about this another day. I ain't got time for it right now. They're coming to get this one too, so I need to move this Jeep real quick. I want to save the instrument cluster out of this Jeep and a couple other little parts. That's why I set it here. Actually, I think I can just scoot it over. Yeah, we'll just do that. There's not a lot on here, just a few little odds and end things, and maybe I'll pull those here in a minute. I don't know, we'll see. This Mustang just came in. Looks like it's got some pretty cool wheels on it. Man, that train is gonna honk. You probably can't hear it because I have my microphone on and I'm running the loader, but they keep honking and honking. Yeah, there's actually, if all 4 wheels are there, I might save those. I don't usually save a lot of wheels, but those actually look pretty good. Oh, there's my truck now. Oh, he doesn't have an empty box. What's going on here? Okay, so since he's just gonna swap that box out and he doesn't have an empty one to drop, he's gonna go ahead and grab the other one first. That way I don't have to leave that gate open half the day since I'm not up there to watch it. Then when he gets that one done, he'll come back and get this one here later. I think I'm gonna haul this truck out to my place later today. I'm just trying to find odds and end things to do, mainly because it's about 1 billion degrees and I don't feel like working out on the ground too much. If it was gonna stay hot for a length of time, I'd just go ahead and buckle down and do it. And then next week it's supposed to be back down into the 80s and 90s again. So I really don't see any reason to make myself suffer this week when all I gotta do is just wait. It's not like I'm in a hurry. It's not like I need any cars to crush. I got a bunch of loads back there and prices haven't gone up yet. They're supposed to go up, but they haven't gone up yet. And to be completely honest, I mean, if prices went up $100 a ton, I have enough loads on the ground now to where they'd be struggling to haul them all in a month anyway. So it's not like I have to crush cars, so I might as well do some other stuff. I got a guy wanting to come get a rear end tomorrow, and I think tomorrow I'm gonna go out to my place and work on those batteries. I guess I'll grab that rear end and throw it on the back of that truck and take it out to my place. Well, my dad came out and said he really needed help hauling some cars, and so I'm helping him right now. Just a few cars around town. It's just a lot easier and quicker when you have 2 people. So, especially when it's this hot. He said he got worn out in the heat yesterday, so he wanted some help today. I said, not a problem, let's go do that. It gives me a chance to ride in the air conditioner for a little bit. I had a few emails I needed to send and stuff like that while I was riding, so it worked out good. We're not picking up anything cool today, just a bunch of scrap. I'm not even sure what all he has on the roster. Just a bunch of stuff he went around and paid for yesterday. Told him he'd come back today in the morning with help again. So that's what we're gonna do now. Well, I didn't catch it on camera, but I opened up this door and there was a great big rat sitting right here. And it just ran up into this engine compartment. So I'm gonna grab my gloves, we're gonna pop the hood and see if we can catch it. I have no clue where he could have gone. He's up in here somewhere. Probably on top of this inner fender somewhere. Man, I hate rats. He's up in there good, that's for sure. I don't see him in there. I can kind of see through here onto the inner fender. I don't see him there, so must have went up in there somewhere. And I'm back at the yard now. Check out what just came in. Buick Century Estate Wagon. Don't see these too often, that's for sure. I can't remember the last time I had a Buick Century station wagon. This in here has definitely seen better days. Honestly, probably just a crusher. Does have a couple of the rally style wheels on it. I'll probably save those, but as you can see, he packed it clear full of junk front to back. So I think she's met the end of her road. It does say 4.3 liter, I think, on the fender, so it might potentially have a good intake on it. Let me see what year is this car. I'm just trying to see what year it is. 1981. Does that say 4.3 liter? It does say 4.3 liter. So is this the carbureted 4.3, I wonder? If I can get to the hood latch. There we go. Let's see here. Can we get this thing up? It's jammed in there pretty good because of this. I'm gonna have to see if I can find something to pop that. This is just a 2-barrel. It does have a copper radiator in it though. We'll get that out later. Set that back down. That hood is hot. Actually, now that I think about it, I think it was the 3.8 liter in some of this body of car in like the late 70s, early 80s. Some of those had the 4-barrel carbureted intake on it that fits right on a 4.3. But if I remember right, they didn't make a carbureted 4.3 4-barrel anyway, other than boat motors. I think that's the way it was. I'm about 90% sure that that's the way it worked out. But anyway, my dad and I, we went to pick up a vehicle way out northeast of town, and their driveway was washed out from all the rain. They had put in a new septic system, and they never filled all the trench back in all the way, and the rain washed it out the rest of the way, and so there was no way for us to get through there. But laying there beside the driveway, they had this old sign, this old school zone sign, and so I saw that, and I said, man, that's Pretty neat right there. And so we weren't able to buy the car. They're supposed to fill the driveway in, and then we'll go back and get the car another day. But I said, I'll give you 20 bucks for that. And they said, sure, grab it. So that was my bonus for the day. And then what else was there? Oh yeah, that truck over there, getting that thing loaded. It was way out in the middle of a field, no wheels on it, and the ball joints on those Dodges stick down that far below the rotor. So getting that thing out of the dirt up on the bed was a little bit of a challenge, but we got her on there. My dad had some other stuff he had to go do, so he dropped me off back here at the yard. Anyway, once I get this truck chained down, I'm gonna go out to the yard where we were crushing beginning of the year, and we took the crusher and loader out of there, but the excavator's still out there. I'm gonna have a guy come get the excavator in the morning and take it out to my place. So that's what I'm gonna do, is get that out to where he can get to it in the morning so I don't have to go out there. We made it over here. This is the new road that I made, and as you can see, it's starting to get a little bit overgrown. Pretty crazy. The weeds have grown like mad this year. And there it is. I don't know if it's gonna start or not. I guess we'll find out here in a minute. Before we do that though, I figured I'll take a quick look around, make sure everything's still okay. Yeah, looks like everything's just like we left it. A little bit overgrown with weeds. I could use that truck bed out at my place. I don't really worry about theft at this yard, just because, I mean, there's really nothing out here to steal other than some dirty aluminum. And I mean, nobody's gonna come out here and steal dirty aluminum. Oh, check out the area where I sunk the loader. I never did get it filled in all the way. It's holding water now. But yeah, anyway, there's no copper, no brass, no catalytic converters, nothing like that out here anymore. So, I mean, nothing really to steal, unless they could steal an entire truckload and only get, 40, 50 bucks worth of stuff. There's no good parts out here. There's really nothing out here. All right, now the test. Whew, it's hot in here, that's for sure. Let's see if she'll fire up. I haven't started this now since April. I think it was April that I pulled the equipment out of here. Well, the battery kicked on, everything's turning on. Oh yeah, fired right up, no problem. I think the AC still works. Let's find out. Oh, the heater's kicking on. Last time I ran this, I needed the heater. Oh yeah, air conditioner still works good. I can feel it now. For the air conditioner to work inside this machine, you have to shut the door. If you don't shut the door, it just pulls in all that hot air and it never cools down in here. But if you close that, good to go. Now this loader here, not this little cylinder, but the cylinder that's on the other side of that arm, last time I was using it was leaking a little bit of fluid. So I'm probably gonna have to get that fixed before I can really do much with it. And you may remember I busted one of the teeth off. I think it's laying down here on the floor still. So this excavator, the bucket and setup that's on here isn't really made for ripping out engines, and that's what I've been using it for mostly. So kind of tore it up a little bit. But I'm gonna go set it out front real quick, and then we're gonna hit the road and go out and unload my trailer. And we made it. I'm not gonna lie, I forgot to strap that rear end down that I set on the back of that truck. And that bridge that's right down the road, when you hit that with a truck and a trailer, you do this. Even if you just hit it in your truck, you kind of bounce a little bit. But when you hit it with a truck and a trailer, it's a wild ride. And as I'm hitting that bridge, I thought, I never strapped that rear end down. I hope that doesn't get to bucking and go boop, and go right off the back of the truck. But it did not. It made it all the way here, so we are good to go. I really need to get this whole line of cars moved, but I have nowhere to move them yet. We're getting there slowly but surely. I'm going to be doing some serious illumination once I get the equipment in here, the excavator, to where I can smash these cars a little bit flatter. With the loader, I can kind of push the roofs in, but I can't make them flat. And I don't know when I'm going to get the crusher out here. I don't even have a place where I could put the crusher right now. So I can take the excavator and stuff like this, 1980, I think, Diplomat. I can really smash that thing flat. And then I've got a couple more back there. Just a handful of newer stuff out here that I can eliminate and make some progress. I've got a bunch of not so great cars out here that if I get rid of those, I can make plenty of room to put better stuff. One last thing before I head out and we come back tomorrow is this is one of the vehicles that we got today. 1985 F250 XLT diesel. Pretty cool truck. It's an automatic. It's got the factory tack in it. That's pretty cool. It's really not in too bad a condition. There's probably a lot of good parts on here. The bed's pretty well toast. It's all beat up and quite a bit of rust in it, but that'll make a good skid. We'll cut the heads off the bolts after we get it cleaned out. That'll make a real good skid for moving junk around. All I have out here is rusty truck beds or short beds. It's hard to find long beds that aren't just completely rotted to nothing. But it's got a good hood. I know that'll sell. I sell these hoods fairly often, and this fender, it's got a little bit of rust. So now this door is pretty nice. Was the other door nice? That's something that sells pretty good off of these. Yeah, there's a good pair of doors. I'll be able to sell those. People are really picky on parts for these trucks. They'll buy parts for these, but they got to be nice. If they're not nice, they're really hard to sell. There we go. Check that out right there. It's got a 6.9 diesel in it, but it's got the ATS turbo set up on it. So that's probably going to be worth a little bit of money by itself. And then, of course, the turbo will be worth some money. And then it's got this gigantic copper radiator in it. That's going to be worth some money just for scrap. I'm not entirely sure what's wrong with it. He said it just quit running. And so they parked it beside their house, and it's been sitting there all this time. And they decided, you know what, let's just get rid of it. So I don't know if this engine's any good or not. But we will definitely save that turbo stuff off of there. I'll put that on eBay. Like I say, it's got a hood. This fender's not bad. Yeah, there's no rust in this fender, so it's got one good fender on it. A couple good doors, so yeah, definitely some pieces that we will save off of this one. It's got a tilt column in it as well, but it's kind of messed up where the ignition went bad and they didn't do the right, put it back in the right way. So I guess a guy could sell it as is, needing a new ignition. I don't know if I want to get that far into it or not. It's got power windows, power locks, but the switches are kind of messed up, so I don't know, I'll probably just leave them on the doors. Yeah, Lep will be here tomorrow. We'll probably work on batteries for the most part tomorrow, but if we get that done, then I'll probably have him start pulling some parts off of this. That way I can go ahead and just get it stripped out and get her smashed. All right, I got the batteries back there dug out. Well, most of the dugout. I have, I think, 2 more cars I got to move to get those out. But I can at least get 2 of them to get them wrapped and banded. No, not wrapped, but banded. But I'm going to dig these out. I've got these old tricycles here. I might save the old one. But these newer ones here, this is what we're going to do with those. We're going to throw them right in here, and we're going to pack this full of scrap. And this thing is falling apart on me. So I think I'm going to pack it one more time, and then I'm just going to shove it in the iron box and call it good. Yeah, this old Schwinn. You know, I kind of have an idea. Well, I think we're going to do the Radio Flyer, because that's more of a classic than a Schwinn tricycle. Yeah, I have an idea for that one there. We'll do that here in just a little bit. It involves an excavator and a tricycle. You can use your imagination to kind of figure out where we're going with that. Yeah, I'll save this one old one here. It's kind of neat, so we'll just set it up here out of the way. I'm just going to take a bunch of old tricycles and bicycle frames and stuff like that and put them all in a big pile and be like, who wants to buy the whole pile? Get it out of my way. And now I can get to this. Lep's out there now. He's pulling some parts off of that diesel Ford. That way I can just go ahead and junk it. Let's see here. Smash all this stuff out of the way. And no, this is kind of what you think it is, but it's not at the same time. This is just Kansas variety that grows everywhere wild. Not worth anything. You can't do anything with it. Except for make rope. You can make rope out of the fibers. That's why it grows here everywhere, is because they used to grow it here like crazy. In fields, they'd farm it for rope and other things like that. But they don't do that anymore, but it's too late. The seeds already got established. Stomp it all down all the way around. Yeah, we're going to have to put some of these batteries back on here and find some more cardboard somewhere. I think I have a stack of cardboard out back, so we'll be all right. There we go. If I get these gone, I have an empty truck bed sitting right back here. That's a bonus. All right, here goes nothing. Let me know what you think of this transformation in the comments. Would you look at that? All right, let's do what this thing was made to do. Just like that. You know what's wrong with this Ford cab? Is it's a little bit too tall. That's better, but it's still not good enough. There we go. They won't buy these propane tanks unless I knock a hole in them. Pulling the valves out isn't good enough, so there, now I have a hole in it. Now it can go in the box too. Getting rid of all sorts of stuff. I tell you what, having an excavator sure makes life a whole lot better. I'm gonna get a lot of stuff done out here now. There we go. The only issue I have with this excavator is the cylinders are leaking a little bit. I may have mentioned that already, but we'll get that looked at later. It's not leaking very bad, so it's one of those things that I can use it as long as I keep an eye on it. All right, it's time to do some risky business. I'm gonna try to take this tree out without destroying my building. We'll see how well this goes. I think I can take little bites of it. That's maximum height. I guess right there is maximum height. Oh yeah, no problem. No problem at all. I'm just going to drop it right here on the ground for now. Come back here and clean it up later. See if I can get this other branch to come down that easy. I figured I could get this one pretty easy. Well, got it. Whew, that was kind of sketchy. A little bit nervous there for a minute. But where there's a will, there's a way. Now I have to get it back out of there. There we go. Something broke. I don't know what broke, but something broke. Oh, that's what broke. It broke a little bit higher than I wanted it to, but it actually... Man, that fell absolutely perfect. I couldn't have done that any better if I was trying to do that. Okay, now let's see here. What do we do next? I think right here, just my camera angle a little bit. There we go. We got all the batteries banded. I'll go show you those here in a little bit, but that is all completely done. As you can see, this tree was barely in the ground. I mean, this was a major hazard. Oh no, I broke my fence. I'm gonna have to fix that now. It'll be all right. The tree root came up underneath the fence and snagged it. Oh, not too bad. I think I can just go on the back side of it and do a little bit of repair work. I'm just going to stop right there until I get me a tree dumpster. I can hop over that log if I need to go in that door, no problem. I do want to go ahead and, I guess while I'm here, go ahead and, well, actually that tree there probably should just go the other direction when I take the trailer house out. Yeah, that's probably, we'll just wait on it. I'm going to attempt to find a place to park this. I'm not entirely sure where I can park it where it's going to be out of my way, but we'll find some place temporarily. Once I get rid of some stuff, then I'll have room to park it again. I got the people on Facebook going good. I put a picture of the excavator with a bucket over the top of all these old cars and said, the excavator is here to smash some cars, which it is. Obviously, it's not going to smash these cars. I tell you what, some of the people on Facebook have got to be the most gullible people. I tell everybody, if you like really edgy stuff, Facebook is the place for you because I'm a little bit more edgy on there. But if you actually just want to hang out with me and see what's going on at the junkyard, YouTube is the place for you. Here's what we got going on. I parked my trailer right here in this road. I figured, well, I don't know where else to put it right now. This is a good spot that's out of the way for the time being until I can make a little bit of progress in here. I can come in here now and get all these batteries, put the skid steer, put the forks on it. Actually, I think the forks are already on it. So yeah, I can get all these out And I might put the brush hog on and come in here and mow an area or something like that first. I don't know, we'll see how it goes. Got all these banded. I think, yeah, this is the only one. Oh, that one over there too. Okay, yeah, so 2 of them we had to band the top and middle layer because these are not stacked the greatest. But I think they'll be okay. Now that we got this done, at least, I'll set them out. And like I say, we'll shrink wrap them extra just to make sure they stay together. That was a hot job. That sun was just, especially those ones down there, that sun was just right on top of us cooking us while we were doing it. And it was hot. And nothing was cooperating. The batteries, the banding kept popping off because the batteries were all at weird angles. And oh, I was starting to get a little bit short-tempered. I don't lose my temper very often, but I was approaching the boiling point fairly quickly, but I was able to keep it under control, and then the sun went away, and so now we're golden. I need to move this car before I run into it. I hate to cut this car up, but I have tried to sell this thing and haven't really had any interest. And I know I can sell the nose, and I know I can sell the visor. We'll give it a little bit longer, and then we'll chop her up. But with that, I am going to head out. It is about to start raining. There are storms building all around us. Oh, one more thing. Check this out. I bought some stuff from Skylar. Brought it out, or he had his wife bring it out earlier, and I saw this in the back of the car, and I said, does he want to sell that? And she says, yeah, he'd sell that. He bought it at a garage sale for 10 bucks. I'm like, I'll give you 30 for it just because it's really cool how it's all beat up like that. I really like that. So he said, yeah, sure, take it. Not sure what I'll do with it yet. I'll probably just put it over there on the wall and just leave it there. But I will see you on the next adventure. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day. Remember to get out there and find yourself an adventure. See you on the next one. Oh,